Purdy watches a ball up and in. Miami coming off a loss against Central Michigan that stopped one of the nation's longest active win streaks prior to that. RedHawks looking to rebound against Eastern Kentucky before they wrap up their home schedule coming up this weekend. 3 games and a Friday-Saturday set against the Kent State Golden Flashes coming up in a couple of days. 2-0 on Purdy. And she watches ball 3 upstairs. Purdy, the junior from Uniontown, Ohio. And watches a 3-0 in the dirt for ball 4. Game's first base runner belongs to the Colonels. Maggie Purdy is aboard with the walk.
The Colonels' first baseman.
Only Ohio native on this roster. Purdy playing in her home state. A few hours north of the border for Eastern Kentucky, who made the journey from Richmond. Reeves returns to the strike zone facing 3-hitter Vianna Barron. Coming off a big series against Bellarmine this past week. Went 6 for 11 with 10 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a homer, bringing the average up near 300 on the season. For Eastern Kentucky, they have lost, like the RedHawks, just 1 game in conference play. These 2 teams are in many ways mirror images of each other. 1-1 is in for a strike. It's a ball and 2 strikes now on Barron. Eastern Kentucky's only loss in the ASUN came against North Alabama. They've got a 3-game lead right now with a couple of weekends left to go in ASUN play. Clinched the ASUN tournament last weekend. And now we'll play this weekend with a chance to grab an ASUN regular season title. Ball and 2 strikes on Barron. She hammers this foul down the left side. Barron, not a player that'll go down without fight. She's got the lowest strikeout count of any regular in the lineup for Eastern Kentucky. Has started every game this season for the Colonels. Two balls and 2 strikes. Barron, redshirt senior from Elk Grove, California, one of many West Coasters on this Colonel roster. 2-2. Just off the corner. Smile on the face of Madilyn Reeves as she regathers. We'll see a full count offering coming up. Maggie Purdy is one of a few active base stealers on the CKU team, as another one is blasted foul. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes on Barron. Bouncer down the third base side. It's a foul ball. Three balls, 2 strikes. Lined up the middle, that's a base hit. So Barron moves the runner up, and they're on first and second with 1 out for Eastern Kentucky. And now on comes the phenom Maddie Rutsen.
Kentucky pitcher, number 21, Maddie Rutsen.
Freshman from Columbus, Indiana, who is the top pitcher on staff for Eastern Kentucky and also hits cleanup. She takes high and tight. 1.13 ERA in the circle this year. to go with a .302 batting average. They struggle a little bit at the plate against Bellarmine after a huge weekend the weekend prior against Austin Peay with a couple of multi-hit games. 2 balls, no strikes. It's way high and away. 3-0 on Rutan. Allie Cummins out to the pitching circle for Miami. Grad student catcher will turn behind the plate. All set to go again at 3-0. And Rutan walks. That'll send Courtney Bierstraat to the circle for Miami. Bases are loaded with 1 down for Eastern Kentucky at the plate. Jalen Haynes will be the batter. Second best hitter for contact on the team at .389, looking to pad an RBI total that stands at 8 right now, one of the lower ones in the lineup, but a golden opportunity with the bases juiced. Looks like a pinch runner coming on now for Eastern Kentucky as Deanna Barron will head back to the dugout. Looks like Kennedy Drafton is out there to pinch run for her. So Drafton will run for Barron at second base. And now the conference is over for Miami in the circle. Left-handed swinger Jalen Haynes up. Takes one under the knees for ball 1. Miami's got the corner of the infield in. Middle infield about halfway. Two 2-0 from Reeves. Chopper up the middle, Reeves comes home with it and throws wide. Run coming to the plate, there is no play, everybody's safe and Eastern Kentucky scores 2. Reeves initially wanted to go to first with it, but whirled around and then tried to come home late. And the throw missed at the plate.
Number 4, Lily G.
And Eastern Kentucky is off and running here in the top half of the first inning. Colonels will now send on a couple of pinch runners here. And Miami will keep the infield in as the Colonels have taken a 2-0 lead. Or now rather, first pitch dealt in, it's fouled back. They're gonna bring Haynes back to the plate. And everyone was ordered to return to their bases. So it looks like that might have been called a potential foul ball. So Haynes got it off the lower body in the batter's box. So the runs come off the board, bases are still loaded, it's a 2-2 count. That pitch is off the corner, and now It's a full count with the bases loaded against Haynes. So Purdy is on third. Drafted who pinch ran is out on second base. Rutan on first. A 3-2 pitch coming in to Haynes. And she grounds it over towards second. Parks thought about coming home. She'll go to first for the sure out. So Eastern Kentucky will take a run, but Miami does get an out of it. And now the Colonels have taken the lead in the game. It's 1-0.
Now once again, it is number 4. The Colonels catcher, Lily Davis.
So Rutan moves up to second. And Haynes grounds out with an RBI. Second and third with 2 gone for Lily Davis. One nothing Eastern Kentucky in the top of the first. That's in there, and that evens the count. A ball and a strike. Second and third, 2 gone. Reeves dots the inner corner for strike 2. Feels like the RedHawks could grab some momentum here if they limit this to 1. Davis, the EKU catcher, hitting .215, down 1-2. And she fouls it back. Two is lifted up and foul. Davis will fight with 2 strikes. Kayla Mathis on deck for Eastern Kentucky. Reeves 1-2 is down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Madilyn Reeves. Another foul. Reeves is not extraordinarily heavy on the strikeout, but does carry it as a part of the arsenal. 97 in 108 innings on the season. Looking for her first. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Had her out in front. Davis goes down on the swing. And that retires the side in the top of the first. Eastern Kentucky gets a run. They strand at 2 after a play was called back at the plate. And Miami will come to the plate for the first time in the matchup we've been wanting to see, with the RedHawks boasting one of the top offenses in the entire nation to the plate when we return. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports. Stay with us.
Designate 10. Gun disable tank. Oh!
Tank identified. Range 1200.
Fire adjust.
On the way.
Target cease fire. Hey. Nice shot. That's what I'm talking about.
Find ways to take care of your mental health and get back to what you love. Stay active. Take a walk in the park. Enjoy a bike ride through your neighborhood. Or create your own garden oasis. Your mental health matters.
Pepsi is bottled in Ohio. And we all know it's an oh-so amazing place. With oh so many cool things to do. Pepsi, bottled right here in Ohio.
Bottom of the first inning here from Oxford, Eastern Kentucky. The bases loaded with 1 out. Looked like the Colonels had scored 2 runs off a ground ball play. However, it was ruled foul. It was called back. The Colonels did get a run, but Miami kept them at that in the road half of the first inning, and now the RedHawks will bring it their potent offense up to the plate against a pitcher that has stifled opponents all season long. Allie Cummins will lead off for this Miami lineup. Pretty similar lineup to what we're used to. Kate Kobayashi following behind. Karli Spaid hitting third. Holly Blaska, the cleanup hitter. Jenna Golembiewski, the MAC Player of the Year last year, hits fifth. Reagan Bartholomew hitting sixth. Chloe Parks in the 7-hole. Sebi Buick, the designated player, hitting eighth, and Hadley Parisian in right. For Eastern Kentucky, they go with Maddie Rutten in the circle, who also hits cleanup for the Colonels. 142 innings pitched this year and a 1.13 ERA. Threw 11 innings over the weekend against Bellarmine, gave up just 1 run over that span. Threw a complete game against Louisville and a win for Eastern Kentucky the week before that. First pitch to Allie Cummins is down low for ball 1. Cummins has been an anchor atop this lineup. Her defensive spot has changed this year for Miami after she was an infielder for most of her career. She's moved behind the plate due to the graduation of Riley Coyne from last season. Cummins has done well to occupy that spot. The hitting has remained there despite the change, batting .351 this season with a .718 slug. Was ahead 2-0, and Rutten will find the zone. Deals home. It's popped up right side. Might be playable, just out of reach. It's over the EKU dugout. Cummins, one of 4 RedHawks top 50 in the country in home runs. Miami's currently got the top 2 and 7th ranked home run hitters in the country. And Cummins stroked this one into right, and that is caught on the run by Mathis for the first out of the inning.
RedHawks center fielder, number 22, Kate Kobayashi.
Went the other way, decently hit ball, but Mathis was right there for it. 1 gone of the inning. Up comes Kate Kobayashi, aforementioned, ranked 7th in the country in home runs, entering today with 18. Kobayashi fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Lily Davis taking a second after wearing that off the arm. Kobayashi, senior from Kansas City, began her career with her head coach Karen Kumar at Virginia Tech. Transferred over to Miami, spent the last few seasons here with Coach 2K after she got the head coaching job here for the RedHawks. Ball and a strike on Kobayashi. And that's in near the knees. 2 balls and a strike. The wind and pitch. Kobayashi hits a soft ground ball over towards second. Scott has to charge, but makes the play. 2 batters out in the bottom of the first. And up comes Karli Spaid for Miami. 2-time All-American. And the nation's current leader in home runs, 3rd in NCAA history in career home runs. And takes the first pitch sharply foul. 94 of them for the senior from Chicago. One of 2 in this Miami lineup slugging over 1,000 this year. She along with Jenna Golembiewski. Spaid waits on it and watches it high. 1 is in there for strike. Ball and 2 strikes. Spaid steps back in. Burton deals outside, the count evens. Burton's 2-2, Spaid rockets it foul. High and deep, but well beyond the foul pole and left. Two on Spaid, another one coming in. And Spaid gets rung up for strike 3 on the outside corner. And that is the end of the inning. 1-2-3 for Matty Rutan in the circle in Eastern Kentucky. Carries the lead into inning number 2 here from Oxford. 1-0 Colonels. Bottom 3 of the order coming up for EKU when we come back. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Fox Sports is your home for the most comprehensive lineup of sports content in the Cincinnati area. On our YouTube channel and podcast feeds, we have something for every Cincinnati fan during the entire sports calendar. Our flagship show, Off the Bench, is Cincinnati's only morning sports show. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, Trace and the gang discuss relevant local sports topics and national headlines. And then on Chatterbox Reds, during the 9th inning of every Reds game, Trace and Nick go live for immediate reaction. The podcast version of Chatterbox Reds is one of the highest-ranked baseball podcasts in the world and is the only Reds podcast that is always available the morning after every game. And Chatterbox Sports recently announced a partnership with 1410 Wing AM ESPN Radio in Dayton, and the Kenner and Kev show is now simulcast from 3 to 5 p.m. on Chatterbox Sports on YouTube. You can learn more about all of our content on chatterboxsports.com.
Right fielder, number 6, Michaela.
Top 2 from Oxford, it's 1-0 EKU. Michaela Mathis leading off for the Colonels after Matty Rutan sat down the top 3 in the Miami order, 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first inning. Mathis takes the ball upstairs, it's 1-0. Eastern Kentucky had plenty of offensive activity in the first. Miami limited them to just 1 run. But Eastern Kentucky's got the lead here in inning number 2. This is one of the top matchups in college softball here this evening. Eastern Kentucky received votes in the Softball America poll this past week. Miami was ranked 25th in the country. Strike dealt in there by Reeves, and it's 2-1. Popped up, it's off the screen and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eastern Kentucky looking to stay perfect against MAC opponents this season. They've already beaten Central Michigan and Ball State. Also took down Northern Illinois earlier this year at the South Alabama Invitational. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Michaela Mathis. Interestingly enough, for Eastern Kentucky, with the record that they have, 36-5, 17-1 in the A-Sun, 4 of those 5 losses came on the same weekend, all in a row at the end of February. 3-2 is in there for strike 3, and Matty Reeves has got back-to-back strikeouts going back to the last inning.
Now the third baseman.
And the freshman's starting to settle in a little bit in the circle for Miami. Jasmine Miller comes on with the bases clear and 1 down. For Eastern Kentucky, they went to Utah Tech. Former Homelander, their head coach Jane Worthington is a Utah State alum. In her 32nd season coaching these Colonels, they played Utah State twice, played Weber State twice. They lost all 4 of those games. On February 24th and 25th, they wrapped up that weekend on Monday, February the 26th against Utah Tech. The hosts of the tournament picked up the only win of that weekend. Since then, they've only lost 1 game over the last 2 months. 2-0 here on Jasmine Miller, the batter, and she takes a strike. Miller, the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Largely national roster, 4 Kentucky natives. Mentioned earlier, there's actually 2 Ohio natives, not just 1, but 6 players between the Buckeye and Bluegrass states on this EKU roster, but a lot of national influence as well, heavily recruiting in California. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Miller. And she hammers one high in the air, but foul. Count remains 2-2. Reeves deals. Grounder foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jasmine Miller. Madison Scott on deck for the Colonels. And it's up high, 3-2. Another full count coming up. Check swing, and the appeal to first. She held the corner to Victor Canales. That's a walk for Jasmine Miller, and she is aboard. 3rd walk issued out by Reeves through an inning and a 3rd.
Second baseman for the Colonels, number 12, Madison Scott.
Madison Scott is at the plate now out of the 9-hole for EKU. Reeves misses the first offering outside to Scott. Senior has missed a few games, but has largely remained in the lineup for Eastern Kentucky. Batting 9-hole. Chops this one over towards second. Parks will have to hustle this to first, and got it in time. That ball took a long way to get to Chloe Parks at second base. Had to give a seat onto first. Was an appeal requested, it looks like, by Jane Worthington, and the umpires are going to meet, but both Victor Canales at first base and Jason Booth, the home plate umpire, both signaled out. So the umpires will take another look at this. Get another look there. Some close play over at first. Looks like if Miller got that front foot on the bag, then it might have beaten out that throw, but the call is going to stand, it looks like. And that's what appears to be the case. So that moved the runner up to second, and Miller. Lineup turned over back to the top. It's Janae Riley, runner on second with 2 down. And lifts this one out towards shallow center field. Kobayashi on the run, makes the grab, and that retires the side. So Maddie Reeves issued a 1-out walk, but didn't phase her through an inning and a half. It's 1-0 Eastern Kentucky. 4-5-6 coming up for the RedHawks on the other side of the break. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Where do you turn to cut this, level this, and move this? Turn to us at Koenig Equipment for John Deere compact utility tractors that are built for long days and the long haul. User-friendly machines to fit your needs and your budget. Backed by Koenig Equipment's team of qualified experts. Get 0% financing for 84 months or save up to $3,400 on select 1 and 2 series tractors at Koenig Equipment.
Yeah. Done with that pizza box, Krusty?
Clean side gets recycled, greasy side gets trashed.
Make your recycling count. Rocky.
Pepsi is bottled in Ohio. And we all know it's an oh-so-amazing place. With oh-so many cool things to do. Pepsi, bottled right here in Ohio.
Bottom of the second inning here from Oxford in Eastern Kentucky. Leading Miami 1-0. Holly Blaska up to the plate for the RedHawks. Blaska will step in as Miami looks to answer in this game. Eastern Kentucky delivering the first punch in a battle between some mid-major heavyweights on this Wednesday afternoon. First pitch is in for a strike on Blaska from Maddie Rootson. For Rootson, it was routine in the first inning. 1-2-3 through the top of the Miami order, including a strike 3 call against Karli Spaid, RedHawks' top power hitter. Blaska lifts this one to center, towering fly ball that Haynes is under and makes the grab for the first out.
RedHawk left fielder, number 2, Jenna Golembiewski.
So now it's Jenna Golembiewski up to the plate for Miami, the nation's leader in slugging percentage and RBIs. Hitting just a shade under 450 right now on the season. Golembiewski takes below the knees for ball 1. Golembiewski burst onto the scene last year, and a year in which Karli Spaid was coming off the first All-America season in program history, and Golembiewski came out of nowhere to win the MAC Player of the Year award last season. Peel on to first, and Golembiewski did not offer, so it's 2-0. And has kept her foot on the gas this year. Golembiewski takes high. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Miami looking for their first base runner. RedHawks have got the cancer awareness lavender uniforms on today. 3-0. And Golembiewski's got the green light. She pops it to left field. Purdy going back from short makes the 2-hand grab, and there are 2 out. They can hit for power like that, sometimes get that green light. Unfortunately for Golembiewski, just got under that one. 2 outs for Reagan Bartholomew. Sophomore from Waukee, Iowa. Hitting .382. She's missed a few games for this Miami team this season, but has been regular in the starting lineup. Head 2-0. Miami's gotten ahead in counts despite not getting the batter on base yet. Two 2-0 on Bartholomew. And she lines it foul. Two and 1. Bartholomew takes low and in. So it's 3 balls and a strike on the anchor in the middle of Miami's order. Bartholomew ahead. As the green light sends this high and deep to left. Is it fair? It is a foul ball. Bartholomew launched that one over the left field fence, just couldn't quite wrap it around the pole. That left field foul area beyond the outfield fence has seen a lot of balls fly that way already, and that was a moonshot, but wasn't quite within the chalk. 3-2 on Bartholomew, back to the plate. Sends it that way again, this time a little shorter. Back to the corner goes Riley, and she's got the room and foul ground to make the play next to the foul pole, and that ends the inning. Bartholomew with a loud out, and Miami's gone 6 up, 6 down to begin the game. It's a pitcher's duel thus far as we head into the third from Oxford. 1-0 Eastern Kentucky. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Where do you turn to cut this, level this, and move this? Turn to us at Koenig Equipment for John Deere compact utility tractors that are built for long days and the long haul. User-friendly machines to fit your needs and your budget. Backed by Koenig Equipment's team of qualified experts. Get 0% financing for 84 months or save up to $3,400 on select 1 and 2 series tractors at Koenig Equipment.
Done with that pizza box, Krusty? Clean side gets recycled, greasy side gets trashed.
Make your recycling count. Rocky.
Pepsi is bottled in Ohio, and we all know it's an oh-so-amazing place with oh-so many cool things to do. Pepsi, bottled right here in Ohio.
Top of the third inning here from Oxford. Eastern Kentucky leads Miami 1-0. Maggie Purdy coming up to the plate for the Colonels. Purdy has scored the game's only run so far. She walked in the first and came around. And takes the first pitch strike from Madilyn Reeves, who's still out there in the circle for the RedHawks. Reeves looked a lot more comfortable in that second inning. Picked up a strikeout to begin. Took just 4 batters to get through the second, did so scoreless. 0-1 in tight on Purdy. Takes up high, it's 2 balls and a strike. She was an ace and all freshman team member 2 years ago, 3rd team all ASUN last year. After hitting .367. Three balls and a strike. Purdy has now scored a run in her last 5 times on base. After making it up, she lifts this one. This is playable for Blaska and foul ground, and she's got it. 1 out in the top of the third.
Number 24, first baseman, V. Barron.
V. Barron up to the plate for Eastern Kentucky with the bases clear. Holds up her swing, it's 1-0. Barron singled, she got pinch run for making it up to second base. And inning number 1, skipped in from Reeves, it's 2-0. Aaron's second on the team in doubles with 10, ahead 2-0 on a power count, takes a strike. And knocks the 2-1 foul, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Reeves at the circle has carried a pretty good load of this pitching staff in her freshman season. Split between 3 primary pitchers for Miami. 2-2's a warm burner foul. Reeves has appeared more than any other pitcher on staff for Miami and leads the team in starts. Hawks brought in a couple of transfers this year in Addie Jarvis and Ashley Hitchcock. 2-2 is fouled off. both from the Big Ten, one from Illinois, one from Rutgers. And the other two pitchers that have seen a lot of innings on staff, both veterans, a fifth year and a sixth year. Quite the contrast for Reeves in her true freshman season. Her 2-2. Just on the shelf, it's a full count. Three balls, two strikes. Lifted up, shallow left center field. Kobayashi bounding over to it, adjusts and grabs it. 2 outs in the top of the third for Eastern Kentucky. That's now 4 in a row for Madilyn Reeves in the circle. And now up comes the pitcher. Walked her first time up, made it up to second base before she was stranded. Eastern Kentucky is stranded runners on base in each of the first 2 innings. Grounded over to Spaid. They won't do it this time. Colonels go 1-2-3 in the top half of the third. Miami might be building some momentum. They'll bring up the bottom 3 in the order. They're looking for their first base runner when we come back. 1-0 Eastern Kentucky. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Where do you turn to cut this, level this, and move this? Turn to us at Koenig Equipment for John Deere compact utility tractors that are built for long days and the long haul. User-friendly machines to fit your needs and your budget. Backed by Koenig Equipment's team of qualified experts. Get 0% financing for 84 months or save up to $3,400 on select 1 and 2 series tractors at Koenig Equipment.
Done with that pizza box, Krusty? Clean side gets recycled, greasy side gets trashed.
Make your recycling count. Rocky.
Pepsi is bottled in Ohio, and we all know it's an oh-so-amazing place with oh-so-many cool things to do. Pepsi, bottled right here in Ohio.
Bottom half of the third inning here from Oxford. And the pitching has shined as Eastern Kentucky leads 25th ranked Miami 1-0.
First to bat, second baseman.
Chloe Parks leads off for the RedHawks in the bottom of the third inning. Parks, the junior from Indy, will look to get the RedHawks going offensively. Miami yet to get a base runner. Started to put some balls in play with some more power in that last inning, but couldn't get anybody aboard. Reagan Bartholomew hammered a couple over the left field wall and eventually flew out right next to the foul pole and foul ground. Redhawks still looking for their first action on base. 1-0 on Parks. Breaker drops down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Line down the right side, hooking and foul. Parks a little out in front that time. Parks hitting .311. Everyone in the lineup for Miami hitting over 300, 1 through 9. 2-1, paints the black. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Parks with 11 extra base hits on the year, 7 of them doubles. It's one of a couple of RedHawks that walks more than she strikes out, and she fills the count at 3-2. See a payoff pitch on Parks to begin the bottom of the third. And she takes outside for ball 4. Tough take on 2 strikes, but Parks is aboard for Miami. Maybe that could stir up some offense for the RedHawks. Sammy Buick, the freshman, comes up for Miami. A couple of freshmen that have hit 8-9 for the RedHawks this season. Buick followed by Parisian, who's on deck. Buick takes ball 1. Buick has appeared in all but 1 game for Miami, started every appearance. She takes a strike to even the count at 1-1. Seen Parks bluff a couple of times on first. Davis is faked but not thrown that way. Buick watches strike 2 go by. One and 2 on the freshman. Buick pops it up and spoils it to stay alive in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Buick from McMurray, Pennsylvania. Designated player today for Miami. And the 1-2 was taken near the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hit 500 in high school. First team all section in the state of Pennsylvania. Two and 2 on Buick. It's another full count. Parks got the best of Rutan on a 3-2 pitch last time around. Buick looking to do the same. Give Parisian a chance to turn the lineup over for the RedHawks. 3-2 coming home. And Buick grounds this one over towards short. Could be 2. Throw on to second for 1. It is made from Purdy to Scott. That's all the Colonels will get. It's a fielder's choice for Buick. And Eastern Kentucky gets the first out in the bottom half of the 3rd.
RedHawks right fielder, number 12, Karli Spaid.
So now it's Adley Parisian for Miami. And she takes off the plate to make it 1-0. Did she check her swing? Looks like she did. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the order on deck, Allie Cummins. 0 for 1 with an opposite field fly out to right. Approaching the halfway mark of the game. Still looking for Miami's first offensive action on their side of the plate. It's 3-0 right now on Parisian. Saw Golembiewski get a green light earlier on in the game. There is no green light that time for Parisian. She takes a strike. Three and 1 to the lefty. Rutan fires, and that's in for ball 4. So 2 walks issued out here in the 3rd. And Miami has got a golden opportunity to get some offense on the board as Parisian does her job and turn the lineup back to the top. First and second, a dangerous spot to Allie Cummins. Takes outside, it's 1-0. Really isn't a weak part of the order for Miami. Everybody hits for good average. This, though, is really where the power starts for the RedHawks. Kind of 1 through 5, 1 through 6. Right now it's 2-0 on Cummins. Might be running into some trouble here at the bottom of the third. We get a late time call that comes from Davis behind the plate for Eastern Kentucky, so that'll reset things. 2-0, and Cummins takes one down the pipe. Three balls and one strike. Cummins ahead in the count here. Hunting, she fouls it back. Rutan had just 25 walks coming into the game. 142 and 2/3 innings. She down 2 in this inning. Now the payoff to Cummins, and she lines that foul over towards Millett Hall. Very good crowd has made its way out for some midweek afternoon softball here in Oxford. This is the highlight event on campus this afternoon. 3-2 on Cummins, and she spoils another. RedHawks have worked Maddie Rutan. Pitch count is up above 50 now, with one out in the bottom of the third. Cummins lifts this one up, slicing, could be a tough play. Barron going after it, it's out of the reach of Scott, and it'll drop, and Cummins has got life. That was a very tough play, as Eastern Kentucky had the whole right side, infield and outfield going after it, but just deposited in a worse spot for everybody there. And Cummins has a second chance at the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes still. And Cummins crushes one foul on the ground. Three and 2 on the Miami catcher. Three-time first-team All-MAC selection, Allie Cummins. Payoff, she knocks another one foul. Career batting average, second best in school history, entering the season at .354. 3-2, she takes ball 4. Marathon at bat goes the way of the RedHawks. Allie Cummins draws the 3rd walk of the inning, and that time really had to work for it.
Again, number 22, center fielder, Kate Kobayashi.
The bases are juiced for the RedHawks, and Kate Kobayashi is up to the plate. 18 home runs on the year, that's 7th in the country. 947 slug is 3rd. Kobayashi takes a high strike. Miami's got the top 3 hitters in the nation at slugging percentage. Kobayashi is one of them. And now we'll see a quick time call from the Eastern Kentucky dugout, and the Colonels will meet the infield. These two teams right on the edge of the top 50 in the RPI. Miami just inside it at 44, Eastern Kentucky 53rd. Both of these teams have paced their respective conferences this season. For Miami and the MAC, for Eastern Kentucky and the Atlantic Sun. Miami looking to win a 5th straight MAC championship. Champions in 2019, no championship in 2020. Winners in 21, 22, and 23. Kate Kobayashi behind 0-1. Swings through that offering. And Rutan has responded, moving in front 0-2. Miami's still looking for that first hit. Kobayashi down in the count. 0-2, she lifts it up and foul. Time is called to get some new softballs from Jason Booth, our home plate umpire. One out in the bottom of the 3rd. He's got the meat of the order up right now. Kobayashi followed by Spaid. Blaska and Golembiewski to follow if it gets there. Rutan has fallen behind in a lot of counts. Didn't really pay for it until this inning, where she's now walked 3. In control of this at-bat against Kobayashi, though, ahead 0-2. 58 pitches so far. 0-2. Kobayashi takes just inside off the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. And Kobayashi takes way high. So now the count evens. Rutan's got nowhere to put Kobayashi, not in trouble to walk just yet. Two is taken in, and now things start to get tough. Rutan's got to put it in the zone. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kobayashi. Kobayashi flies this deep out to center. Haynes going back at the wall, makes the catch at the warning track. Runners tag from 2nd to 3rd, and that will tie the game as Buick comes in to score for the RedHawks. Kobayashi just missed out on home run number 19 on the year. Would have been a grand slam to give Miami the lead. She'll settle for the sac fly, and the game is even at 1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Now runners on the corners for Karli Spaid. Eastern Kentucky not out of the woods yet. Spaid hits this one high. Right field, Mathis back at the wall. It is gone! Nation's leader strikes again. 28 on the season for Karli Spaid, the 95th of the All-American's career. It's a 3-run blast, and the RedHawks take control in the bottom of the 3rd.
Next to bat, number 5, first baseman Holly Blaska.
That home run ties 2nd all-time for Karli Spaid with Lauren Chamberlain of Oklahoma. And now this one is lifted well the other way, and this is over the head of Riley and left off the bat of Blaska. She'll pull into 2nd safely, and the party continues for the RedHawks. A 2-out double for the Miami cleanup hitter. And this is where the murderer's row really can hurt you for Miami. Saw Golembiewski almost homer. Spaid then puts one over the fence. Blaska just feet away from doing the same, and now you've got Golembiewski, who's second in the country in home runs at the plate. As said before, Karli Spaid now with 95 home runs, tied for second in NCAA history with Lauren Chamberlain of Oklahoma, most home runs in a career. Next one will put her in sole possession of second place. And the moment, though, for the RedHawks, Spaid has given the RedHawks the lead, and maybe not done here in the bottom of the third. Miami leads at 4-1. Runner in scoring position for Jenna Golembiewski. And Golembiewski flies one down the left side. That is a foul ball. Traveled, felt like probably twice the length of the fence going down that hill and left. Golembiewski popped out on a 3-0 pitcher first time around, down to the count 0-2. Reaches for it, pops it up on the right side, and that's going to drop. Blaska will score, and maybe not how she drew it up, but Jenna Golembiewski will take the RBI single, and Miami adds on to their lead, make it 5-1 RedHawks in the bottom of the third.
Number 1, shortstop, Regan Bartholomew.
So with still 2 outs, the RedHawks have now batted around, and Regan Bartholomew will climb in. Golembiewski on first for Miami. And Bartholomew will take low for ball 1. Bartholomew was the first RedHawk to really start getting the barrel to the ball, but just couldn't do so in fair territory her first time around. She flew out to left. RedHawks have teed off now here in the third. Bartholomew pops this one up. This will just barely escape the infield towards short. Purdy has got it with 2 hands, and that will end the inning, but Miami does what they do best, and that is damage. Bottom of the third, RedHawks put up a 5-spot, highlighted by the Karli Spaid 3-run bomb, her 95th of her career, to tie her for second all-time in the history of the NCAA. To the fourth we go from Oxford. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When it hurts to move, what often hurts most is the fact that you can't. Because every rebound is calling your name, and every dance should be danced. It's in moments like these that we step in to help you step back off the sidelines. Because it takes 2 to tango in this life, and you are meant to be the one. Mercy Health, healthcare for the universe of you. Find an orthopedic doctor at mercy.com/ortho.
Top of the fourth inning, and after Miami did not have a base runner in the first 2 innings, the RedHawks have given Madilyn Reeves some run support and then some. Karli Spaid 3-run bomb. Holly Blaska with a double brought in by Jenna Golembiewski's RBI single. RedHawks put up 5, and they lead it by 4 now, headed into the fourth, as the Colonels will have to play some catch-up. Jalen Haynes leads off for Eastern Kentucky. She's got their lone RBI, grounded out to second back in the first inning to bring in the Colonels' only run. 0-1 is down low. It's a ball and a strike. Haynes lines this towards the Miami dugout, making 1-2. For Miami, they just continue to hit the cover off the softball. For the balls that haven't carried out, the warning track has seen some balls fly that way today. 1-2, line through the left side gap. That's a base hit. Solid day at the plate here for Jalen Haynes. She's now 1 for 2 with an RBI. And Eastern Kentucky looking to rally off to a good start in the top of the 4th with the Haynes single. That'll bring up Lily Davis.
Catcher, Lily Davis.
Neither of these teams really has to play from behind a whole lot just by nature of the amount of games they've won this season. This one drops in the dirt. Great jump on first base from Haynes, and she's up to second easily. She was hunting for a pitch in the dirt, got it, and took off. No throw down to second base required from Cummins. Runner into scoring position now for Eastern Kentucky. This one is popped up, and it'll get out of play. You look at the schedules, these teams have largely gone in different directions. Miami's gone more the Power 5 route when you look at who they play in their non-conference. Both these teams, however, have beaten Louisville this season. RedHawks did it here on their home field to begin what was a lengthy win streak that came to an end on Sunday, but the RedHawks have got a chance to start another one here today. Final home week of the season for Miami. They'll wrap up coming up this weekend on Friday against Kent State, doubleheader on Saturday against the Golden Flashes. 2-1, lifted up, might be playable here for Blaska going over towards the dugout. She'll run out of room. That's going to land on top of the Colonel bench. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Lily Davis. RedHawks will have one final series following this weekend. They'll be on the road. Check that, 2 final series. They'll be on the road next week against Toledo for a midweek doubleheader, and then they'll be on the road next weekend against Northern Illinois for 3 before the MAC tournament takes place in Akron. 2-2 is popped up. Again, Cummins going back, and again, it's not playable. It's caught at the bare hand behind the plate by a fan. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Lily Davis.
I thought it was going over there. I was like, no, it's coming down.
Reeves winds and fires. That's just inside off the plate. 3-2 now. Eastern Kentucky still got 3 more conference series left. North Florida this weekend in Jacksonville. Morehead State the following Tuesday on the road. They'll wrap up their year at home against Lipscomb before they go to the ASUN tournament, hosted this year by North Alabama, the one team that's beaten them in ASUN play this year. 3-2 here on Lily Davis. Ball 4. You knew Eastern Kentucky wasn't going to go away after one rough inning. They've got first and second, nobody out. And Courtney Mearshur's coming out to the circle for Miami. So conference dialed up from the RedHawk dugout. The batter will be Michaela Mathis, looking strikeout victim her first time around. Mearshur will talk things over. Things were a little rocky in the first for Reeves. Consider the position she was in. I think she was probably very happy to get out of that first inning with just 1 run, especially considering she thought she'd given up 2 after trying to go home on a ground ball thrown in by her catcher, Allie Cummins. Colonels brought in, and they thought were 2 runs, but then the play was called back after a foul ball off the foot of Jalen Haynes. RedHawks got out of that inning, giving up just 1 run, and have since taken the lead. Eastern Kentucky looking to answer. Mathis shows bunted, pulls it back. Runner going for third, and in there safely on the back end. Davis got a late start from first, but she makes it up to second without a throw. So the double steal executed by Eastern Kentucky. Spaid was charging for the bunt. Bartholomew kind of had to race Haynes over to the bag, and the base runner won. It's a 1-0 count, and now no reason to bunt for Michaela Mathis as it's 2-0. does open up a base, but you hate to bring the tying run to the plate in this spot. Jasmine Miller is on deck for Eastern Kentucky. 2-0 is just up. Reeves throws the palms to the sky. Three balls, no strikes on Mathis. Chopper up towards the circle. Reeves looks the runner back and throws out Mathis for the first out of the inning. Saw a similar looking play go sour for Reeves the first time around. She was ready here. Looks the runner back. Goes on to first for the out.
Jasmine Miller.
Cool and collected in the circle to grab out number one of the inning, and now it's Jasmine Miller at the plate. Miller takes one in there for strike one. Takes one in a similar spot. It's 0-2. Reeves commanding now. No balls, 2 strikes. Looking for her first strikeout since the top of the second. She struck out Michaela Mathis, the first batter she faced. Eastern Kentucky's gone through 9 batters without a K. That won't continue. Strike 3 as Miller swings over at third strikeout for Reeves, and there are 2 down in the top of the 4th. Reeves looking to do some serious firefighting in the top of this 4th inning. Trying to hang a 0. The 9-hitter stands in her way. Madison Scott's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. Scott takes one of the other batters' box. It's 1-0. Scott takes to move ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the order on deck for Eastern Kentucky. Riley is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Scott way out in front of the 2-0 offering. Two balls and a strike on Eastern Kentucky second baseman. Foul tipper to even the count at 2-2. Reeves about to throw pitch number 90, trying to get out of the 4th, scoreless in the inning after the first 2 batters reached. 2-2 just outside. RedHawks wanted it. That'll fill the count. Three-two, swing and a foul tip. And Scott will keep the count alive. Looks like, though, they're going to say she was out of the batter's box. And that is strike 3. So how about that? That ends the inning. Eastern Kentucky at second and third with nobody out. The Colonels can't put up a run. Madilyn Reeves is working through it right now past the middle innings. We're halfway home from Oxford, and Miami leads it by a 5-1 score. Stay with us. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Sports is your home for the most comprehensive lineup of sports content in the Cincinnati area. On our YouTube channel and podcast feeds, we have something for every Cincinnati fan during the entire sports calendar. Our flagship show, Off the Bench, is Cincinnati's only morning sports show, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. Trace and the gang discuss relevant local sports topics and national headlines. And then on Chatterbox Reds, during the 9th inning of every Reds game, Trace and Nick go live for immediate reaction. The podcast version of Chatterbox Reds is one of the highest-ranked baseball podcasts in the world and is the only Reds podcast that is always available the morning after every game. And Chatterbox Sports recently announced a partnership with 1410 Wing AM ESPN Radio in Dayton, and the Kenner and Kev show is now simulcast from 3 to 5 p.m. on Chatterbox Sports on YouTube. You can learn more about all of our content on chatterboxsports.com.
Chloe Parks leads off for Miami in the bottom of the fourth inning. RedHawks flip the game on its head in the third, making it 5-1. Parks started that off by reaching base on a walk. She was the first of 5 straight RedHawks to reach, and Miami produced 5 runs in the bottom of the third inning. Maddie Rutten, the ace of the staff for Eastern Kentucky, still out there. RedHawks finally timed her up in that last inning at the plate. And now Parks grounds one up the middle, and that's a base hit. RedHawks really starting to spur up the offense now. That's hit number 4 for Miami. Chloe Parks is now 1 for 1, reaching base twice, and that brings up Sammy Buick. Can't be understated as well the job done by Maddie Reeves in the pitching circle after Eastern Kentucky looking to answer to Miami's 5 spot at second and third with nobody out. Ground out, strikeout, strikeout. Got Reeves through the inning. And Eastern Kentucky did not score a run in the fourth. Buick takes a strike. She grounded into a fielder's choice her first time up. Came around to score Miami's first run. It was in that last inning. RedHawks batted around. 9 hitters came to the plate. Buick watches it in the dirt. Davis will look to run her back. Gets a ball and a strike on the freshman. One, and Buick hits this into the gap in right center. That'll get to the wall. Wave sign around third for Parks. She'll come in to score, and it's an RBI double for Sammy Buick. And the RedHawk hit party continues. Buick, the latest, to grab her first knock of the game, taking it the opposite way into the gap. RedHawks are starting to get the barrel to the ball, and we are going to see a change in the circle for Eastern Kentucky. So Miami has chased the ace out of the game for the Colonels. They will turn things over to a new pitcher in the circle when we come back. It'll be Victoria Byram that is tossing home for the Colonels. Miami's made it a 6-1 game, looking for more damage here in the fourth. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Sports is your home for the most comprehensive lineup of sports content in the Cincinnati area. On our YouTube channel and podcast feeds, we have something for every Cincinnati fan during the entire sports calendar. Our flagship show, Off the Bench, is Cincinnati's only morning sports show. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, Trace and the gang discuss relevant local sports topics and national headlines. And then on Chatterbox Reds, during the 9th inning of every Reds game, Trace and Nick go live for immediate reaction. The podcast version of Chatterbox Reds is one of the highest ranked baseball podcasts in the world and is the only Reds podcast that is always available the morning after every game. And Chatterbox Sports recently announced a partnership with 1410 Wing AM ESPN Radio in Dayton, and the Kenner and Kev show is now simulcast from 3 to 5 p.m. on Chatterbox Sports on YouTube. You can learn more about all of our content on chatterboxsports.com.
Kroger always gives you more ways to save on top of our lower than low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. With a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Discover more ways to save big every day. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Miami has gotten the ace out of the game. Maddie Rutten is taken out in favor of Victoria Byram, who gets the ball in relief. The freshman from Lakewood, California, will try to keep this a 5-run ball game as the RedHawks have taken the lead and added to it here in the fourth. Hadley Parisian is at the plate after the RBI double by Sammy Buick. And Parisian fouls it straight back. It's a ball and a strike. So because Maddie Rutan is in the batting lineup, Byram was listed on the starting lineup as a flex. She's able to come into the game, and it should allow Rutan to stay in the game in the batting lineup. So a ball and a strike on Parisian here. And she takes outside, 2-1. Byram on the year in her freshman season, making her 4th appearance out of the bullpen. She's also started 8 games, 28 2/3 innings pitched, a 6.59 ERA, 30 walks to 21 strikeouts. The walks have been the issue. Opponents are hitting just .218 against her this season. Here's a strike, it's 2-2. Did not pitch this past weekend against Bellarmine. Last time she pitched was 2 weeks ago against Austin P. Went 3 2/3, gave up 3 runs in her only appearance of the weekend. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hadley Parisian, the Miami 9 hitter. Top of the order, and Allie Cummins awaiting on deck. And Parisian fouls that to the backstop. Miami has gotten so far 3 extra base hits out of their 5 hits total. Walks also hurt Eastern Kentucky in that last inning where Miami scored the 5 spot. 2-2 on Parisian. Can't get framed up by Davis behind the plate. It's a full count. Tried her best. Didn't fool the home plate umpire Jason Booth. 3-2 on Parisian, who's already walked once and scored a run in that last inning. She checks her swing, the appeal down to third. She did not go around, and Parisian is aboard on the walk for the 2nd time to turn the lineup over back to the top. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th.
The catcher, Allie Cummins.
And Allie Cummins is at the plate. Bullpen again getting active here for Eastern Kentucky. Cummins is 0 for 1, but walked her last time up and scored. Cummins takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Took Miami 6 batters to get their first base runner. 7 batters rather. The 7th batter reaching in Chloe Parks after the first 6 were retired. But since then, all but 2 RedHawks have reached base over the last 2 innings. Only 2 that did. Bartholomew the last out of the inning, and Kate Kobayashi's productive out that brought in one of Miami's 5 runs on a sac fly. 2-0 on Cummins. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Cummins swings, lifts it up. This will whirl out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Cummins, coming home. And she takes in the dirt. It's a full count. Miami's competitiveness at the plate has been really good 1 through 9 today. Not only have they started to move the offense, but they worked a lot on long at-bats. 3-2 to Cummins. Hammers this up the middle. That's a base hit. Stop sign put up at third, as initially it was a wave to Buick. She'll put on the brakes. And station to station go the RedHawks. That'll load the bases for Kate Kobayashi. 2nd time in as many trips to the plate for Kobayashi. She's come up with the bases loaded. Last time up, hit one to the deepest part of the ballpark and came up just about 2 feet short of a grand slam. Had to settle for a sac fly. Chance for redemption, if you will, here for Kobayashi. Bases are loaded with nobody out for Miami in the bottom of the 4th. They've already got a run in the inning. And Kobayashi takes the first pitch strike. Karli Spaid, who just hit her 28th home run to put her into a tie for second in NCAA history, and her career with 95 is on deck. She is one away from moving into sole possession of second, also a home run away from breaking her own single season record here in Miami. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kate Kobayashi. Kobayashi, did she get a piece of it? Did it hit her? RedHawks are running the bases as if that was a hit by pitch. Home plate umpire's got his hands up. I believe that was called a foul ball as we get another look. It's tough to see exactly where that hit, and yeah, it did look like get the arm or maybe the handle of the bat on Kobayashi. Karen Kumar is protesting for Miami that got Kobayashi on the arm, and Kobayashi certainly thinks so. She made a move towards first, and looks like it got the bat. Karen Kumar is not very happy and protesting with the home plate umpire, but it does look like when we slow it down frame by frame that got the barrel of Kobayashi on the check swing. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Will not bring in a run, but Kobayashi still has a shot in this at bat. Lifts this up and way out of play. Ball and 2 strikes still. Kobayashi 0 for 1. 2 balls in play though so far. This guy's at the opposite way. That'll slice to the parking lot. One and 2 on Kobayashi. Here's the pitch. And she hits this one hard and deep to center, back at the wall. Haynes crashes into the wall. It's off her glove. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. The relay's cut off, and it's a 2 RBI double for Kate Kobayashi. Again, just missed out on the grand slam, but make it 3 RBIs in the game for Kobayashi, and the double off the center field wall. Haynes did her best to get over to it, but crashed into the fence. And that ball hit right off the yellow padding on the very top of the fence. Buick and Parisian both scoring. Cummins made it up to third, and now it's second and third with nobody out for Karli Spaid. 8-1 RedHawks. And Spaid takes the first pitch in the dirt. For Spaid, looking strikeout her first time up, and then broke this game open for Miami after it was tied by Kobayashi's sac fly, a 3-run home run to the opposite field and right. 1-0 is lifted way high, 2 balls and no strikes. Again, it's just so tough at this point in the order. Can't really pitch around Spaid with who follows. Saw Holly Blaska crush one off the fence her last time up, and Jenna Golembiewski's right behind her. 2-0 on Spaid. Make it 3-0. On Spaid. That is a red light if you've ever seen one, right down the middle for strike 1. Corner infield creeping in for EKU, the 3-1. And Spaid lifts it up in the air. This will get out of play. Escaping the sidewall. It's a full count on Spaid. Still nobody out in the inning. RedHawks up 7. Eastern Kentucky will bring up the top of the order in the 5th. Miami could grab one more run. They would force EKU to score to keep the game alive. 3-2 on Spaid. Lined and foul. Still a full count. Spaid owning the RedHawk record books. Looking to take the single season record from herself. She's got the top 3 home run hitting seasons in school history. The 3-2. And Spaid drills it. Left field, going back at the wall. It is gone. That's the record breaker for Karli Spaid. Home run number 96 for the career, the second most in NCAA history, and 29 for a season, the most in the history of this RedHawk program.
Fans, if we could please have your attention for a very special recognition. With that
Karli Spaid will be recognized to this crowd here in Oxford.
Career, Karli Spaid has passed Lauren Chamberlain and secured sole ownership of 7th place in career home runs in NCAA history. Let's take a moment to recognize Karli Spaid for this historic achievement.
Meanwhile, Eastern Kentucky will make a pitching change now as the RedHawks go up by 10. Karli Spaid, what a day. 2 home runs, the record tire, the record breaker for the Miami senior. 96 home runs for the career, and Spaid has made this a 10-run ball game in the 4th. We'll step aside here from Oxford with Miami up 11-1. You're watching Miami softball on Chatterbox Sports.
Sports is your home for the most comprehensive lineup of sports content in the Cincinnati area. On our YouTube channel and podcast feeds, we have something for every Cincinnati fan during the entire sports calendar. Our flagship show, Off the Bench, is Cincinnati's only morning sports show. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, Trace and the gang discuss relevant local sports topics and national headlines. And then on Chatterbox Reds, during the 9th inning of every Reds game, Trace and Nick go live for immediate reaction. The podcast version of Chatterbox Reds is one of the highest-ranked baseball podcasts in the world and is the only Reds podcast that is always available the morning after every game. And Chatterbox Sports recently announced a partnership with 1410 Wing AM ESPN Radio in Dayton, and the Kenner and Kev show is now simulcast from 3 to 5 p.m. on Chatterbox Sports on YouTube. You can learn more about all of our content on chatterboxsports.com.
Holly Blaska up to the plate for Miami. 1-0 count on the RedHawk cleanup hitter Karli Spaid right before the break. Hitting the home run for the RedHawks that gave her sole ownership of 2nd place in NCAA history for a career, and also broke the single season record that she already owned here at Miami with her 29th home run of the year. That leads the nation. And Spaid has made this a 10-run ball game with Miami in front after they trailed 1-0. Blaska twirls this to first, and it will be scooped up by Barron. She'll tap on the bag as Eastern Kentucky will finally grab the first out of the inning. Brooke Davis is taken over in the circle for the Colonels.
Left fielder, Jenna Golembiewski.
Sophomore righty. Trying to get Eastern Kentucky through this as the Colonels will now need at least 3 runs in the top of the 5th to avoid the run rule. Jenna Golembiewski up to the plate, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Just kind of threw her hands at a pitch that was below her knees and lifted it into left, blooped in for a knock, brought home a run for Miami. Back when this game was a little bit tighter. That made it a 5-1 RedHawk lead. Golembiewski taps the 1-0 foul. This has been some season for the RedHawks under Kiran Kumar, who somehow, some way, coming in and having the instant success she had at Miami has just gotten better with every passing season. It's 1-2 on Golembiewski. He's not failed to win the MAC championship as the RedHawks head coach. Miami looking to do the same here, and this is the most dominant by far they have looked in a supremely dominant Kiran Kumar tenure, especially in the MAC. 1-2 up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Golembiewski lifts this one to shallow left. Tough play for Riley, but she's in on it to make the grab. And there are 2 down. Miami's played 19 conference games this season. The RedHawks have been run rule victors in 9 of them. As we will now see a pinch hitter here for the RedHawks. Maddie Banks is going to hit for Reagan Bartholomew. Banks, who transferred in from Ole Miss last season, pinch hitting for the RedHawks, was in the starting lineup a lot last year. This year has been mostly used off the bench by Kiran Kumar. So she'll get an at-bat in Bartholomew's spot here in the bottom of the 4th. Super valuable with the depth this RedHawk team has. You can have a bat like Banks on your bench. And so Banks will get a live AB here in the bottom of the 4th with Miami up 10. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Make it 2-0 on Banks. Thirteenth appearance off the bench for Banks this season. Grad student from Bettendorf, Iowa, moving ahead 3-0. Started with Kiran Kumar at Virginia Tech. It was at Ole Miss for 2 seasons, now in her 2nd season with the RedHawks. She takes a 4-pitch walk, and that will extend the inning as Miami brings up their 10th batter to the plate. It'll be another pinch hitter. Logan Muller will hit for Chloe Parks. As Kiran Kumar is emptying the bench for Miami.
The pinch hitter now for the RedHawks. At the plate, number 11, Logan Muller.
Runner on first with 2 down. Ball down low on Mueller. Senior from nearby Lebanon, Ohio. Takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Fifth plate appearance of the year for Miller. Looking for her first hit. Scored a run against Louisville. Also did so against Elon and Evansville, the 2 opening appearances of the year for her in her senior season. Heading the count 2-1. Make it 3-1. Pitch. This is lifted out towards left center field, slicing, but Riley is there to put it away, and that ends the inning. Somehow Miami tops the 5 spot with 6 in the 4th, make it 11-1 RedHawks as we go to the 5th. Reeves will have a chance to slam the door on this one. Eastern Kentucky needing 3 runs when we come back. You're watching Miami Softball on Chatterbox Sports.
On Friday, for the
Designate tech. Gun disable tank. Oh!
Tank identified. Raise. 12 legs.
Fire adjust.
On the way.
Target C fired. Hey. Nice shot. That's what I'm talking about.
Find ways to take care of your mental health and get back to what you love. Stay active. Take a walk in the park. Enjoy a bike ride through your neighborhood. Or create your own garden oasis. Your mental health matters.
Pepsi is bottled in Ohio. And we all know it's an oh-so-amazing place. With oh-so many cool things to do. Pepsi, bottled right here in Ohio.
Back here in Oxford as Eastern Kentucky now finds themselves on the ropes. Colonels will need to score a few runs here to get within run rule distance as they find themselves down by 10. 6 runs coming across in a record-breaking inning for Miami with Karli Spaid's single-season record-breaking home run here at Miami. And the home run that put her at second place all-time in NCAA history, 96 home runs for Spaid for the career. And it has put Miami in front by 10. And what was a tight game through the first few innings. Jenna Riley is the batter for Eastern Kentucky. She takes strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for the leadoff hitter for the Colonels, who's 0 for 2. These are 2 of the best mid-major programs that college softball has to offer in Eastern Kentucky and Miami. This ball's hit pretty well out towards right field. That's going back, and that is gone off the scoreboard for Jenna Riley. And that's a start for EKU in the top of the 5th. The solo shot makes it 11-2. That ball was rocked out to right center field to hit the scoreboard for Riley. That's her 6th home run of the year. Ties her for the team lead. Now a 3-way tie. Maggie Purdy up to the plate. Bases clear. And nobody out in the inning after the solo shot. First pitch in there for a strike. Now the 0-1 offering is high. Ball and a strike on Maggie Purdy, 0 for 1 with a walk just prior to the home run that scored Eastern Kentucky's only run. It's now 11-2, Miami over Eastern Kentucky. 1-2 now as Madilyn Reeves tries to finish out this game for the RedHawks. Reeves ran into a couple bumps in the road in the first, weathered it. Offense picked her up. This is lined into left field for a base hit by Purdy. Eastern Kentucky's not going to be quiet here in this top of the 5th. Colonels need at least 2 more runs.
First baseman,
They'll bring V. Barron up to the plate, try and provide some of that offense. First pitch is down low for ball 1 to her. Barron is 1 for 2. Eastern Kentucky has lost on the run rule only once this year. That was against Utah State earlier this season. They've only lost by 8 runs twice. And that was the other game against Weber State. They gave up 8 runs in the 8th inning in an 11-3 extra inning loss. But you could kind of tell with the lack of losses Eastern Kentucky has suffered this year, this is not a spot they're used to being in. 2-1 is foul. Not the end of the world by any means for the Colonels. They've still got a shot in an at-large, but also does not look like they've got any really big-time challengers in the Ace Sun either. They've really mowed through that conference. 17-1 on the season in Ace Sun play. 2-2 on Barron, and she swings and misses for strike 3. So after giving up a couple of hits to begin the inning, Madilyn Reeves bounces back with a K. She's now got 5 of those on the game. And there's one away. Miami moves one step closer. Maddie rooting up to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Did walk the first time around and was the starting pitcher in this game. Went 3 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Came out of the game in that last half inning. On Rutan, and she takes so 2-0. Reeves trying to finish up the game for the RedHawks. Miami in front by 9. It's 3 balls and no strikes on the EKU pitcher. 2 big innings for the RedHawks. They've become accustomed to that this season. Reeves has pitched with a lot of run support this year. 3-0 is in for a strike. Three balls and a strike on Rutan. And it's 3-2. Drop that right in the zone. A full count. It's EKU's cleanup. Payoff pitch coming in. Bounces in for ball 4. And Rutan is aboard.
Center fielder, Jalen Haynes.
So now it's Jalen Haynes, and prior to that, we'll get time called for the Miami dugout. Conference here from pitching coach Courtney Meerstra. Jalen Haynes 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI ground out. The necessary run to keep the game alive for Eastern Kentucky is on base. Colonels will need to score at least Purdy and Rutan, who are both on the base paths right now, to stay out of run rule range. Conference is up. When Courtney Meerstra has gone out to the circle, Madilyn Reeves has seemed to respond with some increased energy in the circle. We'll see if that continues here to try and get the final couple outs. Jalen Haynes, the batter. And Haynes lifts this one to left. It is out of play. No balls and a strike. Bunt is shown briefly. Runners took off, but now they'll return to their bases. One and one on Jalen Haynes. Grounder over towards short. Bartholomew can't get it over in time. A little dribbler behind the circle And that'll load the bases for Eastern Kentucky. Haynes with her second hit of the game. And now it's Lily Davis.
Catcher, Lily Davis.
Isn't a whole lot Bartholomew could have done. That was put in a really awkward spot for the Miami shortstop. Davis hammers one, but it's foul. Bomb that to left, but it is yanked too far. Davis 0 for 1 with a walk. Davis takes it inside, even the count. 114 pitches for Madilyn Reeves. One grounder through the hole and left for a base hit. One run in to score. Second one is stopped at third. And Eastern Kentucky still kicking in the top of the fifth. Colonels make it 11-3. And now looks like we'll get a pinch hitter for the Colonels. Sharon Duncan will hit in Michaela Mathis's spot.
A pinch hitter for the Colonels. Coming to the plate, number 10, Sharon Duncan.
And now with just one out, a productive out could potentially do the job for EKU. That's to keep the Miami bats at bay in the bottom half of the inning, but it's a different story if we get there. For now, Eastern Kentucky needs a run. Bases loaded with one out. They're down 8. And Duncan lifts this one up on the right side. Blaska coming in, and she makes the catch to the right of home. And that's the second out. So the pinch hit opportunity, the first pitch is popped out to the infield, and now the Colonels are down to their final out. Jasmine Miller will be the batter.
Jasmine Miller.
And can get on base in any way, shape, or form, but just needs to get on here. Reeves looking to end it. First pitch is in for a strike. Oh, 1. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miller's got the count even. Swings over the top of that. KU down to their last strike. Reeves fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, that's your ball game. Miami answers the bell. The RedHawks, coming off their first loss in nearly 2 months, take on a tough Eastern Kentucky team. They beat them via the run rule. 2 home runs for Karli Spaid, put her in the record books, and Miami bounces back in a big way on this Wednesday afternoon, taking an 11-3 victory away from the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky. The RedHawks are now 37-7 on the year. They will wrap up their home schedule coming up this weekend. We'll have those games for you here on Chatterbox Sports on Friday at 5 p.m. start against the Kent State Golden Flashes, and then on Saturday they'll wrap up the home set with a 1 p.m. start to a doubleheader against Kent State before 2 more series on the road for Eastern Kentucky. They'll be in Jacksonville this weekend, taking on North Florida as they look to rebound and continue to roll through the A-Sun. It is certainly likely that we will see this EKU team again down the road playing in the NCAA tournament. Well, that'll do it for us for now here from Miami Softball Stadium. We hope you'll tune in this weekend for some more Miami softball action. Until then, Reed Mouse on production and the rest of our Chatterbox Sports crew. I'm Luke Westpoli saying so long from Oxford, where Miami beats Eastern Kentucky. Final score, RedHawks 11 and Colonels 3.
Left on base.
Sports is